And hello, it is time for the recap from Mercury, the show where we talk about Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. In this case, we're talking about Season 2, Episode 10, The Woven Path. I'm Scott, and with me is...
Chapman, hi. How you doing?
Hey.
What's going on? Hey, everybody. Hi. There's too much
Yes.
caffeine in that drink. Hi!
Hey. And this episode is brought to you by RightStuff.com and the Gundam Aerial Rebuild High Grade Kit from Right Stuff. It's on pre-order right now because they're getting new stock in, which will sell out. Because this is what we've learned. Aerials sell out. So if you wanted the rebuild in high grade right now, I would recommend getting this pre-order for the restock. It's got cool jets, a big gun, all the little bitty shield bits, all the little bits you need to display the shield bits. That's right, action bases multiple, 5 of them. So you can show off this girl in action.
Yes,
And
if you
that
want
shield
one.
does connect to the big gun. Many options. This is very full-featured high grade, I must say.
Yes, if you want one, they will not be here long. My local hobby shop had them. I got one. My friend said, "Oh, they got them? Yeah, go get them." He went up there the next day. The 4 that they had, I bought one. They're gone.
Yeah. Just
In
grab
24
that,
hours, they sold 3. They sold 4 of them, 1 to me. So yeah, just get it at Right Stuff. They'll send it to your door.
Yeah. So this episode has, once again, multiple directors. 5 animation directors on this episode. Starting off with Nana Hirata, who you might know from Gundam X, or Gundam Wing, or Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, or Gundam Double Zeta, or Gundam The Origin, or Gundam Zeta, or Pat Labor, or the King of Braves, Gao Gaigar, or the King of Braves, Gao Gaigar Final, or the King of Braves, Gao Gaigar versus Betterman. Mo Suzuki, who's a bit younger, and is who you'd know from Build Fighters Try or G-Reco. Masatoshi Hakata, who a bit older, but you'd know him from Baki the Grappler, or a bunch of Beyblade Burst and other things that start with Beyblade Burst. I cannot say that phrase too quickly. Not a list. Not a phrase I can say quickly. Skipping that. We have Kiyoshi Egami, who you also might remember from Season 1, a couple of earlier episodes in Season 2, Double Zeta, The Origins, SD Gundam, Musha Knight Command, and Victory. Shoji Ikino, who also worked on Age, See Destiny, and IBO. In the writer's chair, we have Ichiro Okochi, who we remember. He's around. And Ko Yoneyama, who is mostly a playwright, but also does the Venadis Heart manga.
Beyblade Burst. Beyblade Burst. Sorry.
Yeah,
I've been on mute doing that the whole time. Just
he
trying
was
to get it right.
practicing.
It's hard.
It's a hard one. It is a hard one.
Beyblade Burst. Beyblade Burst. Beyblade Burst. Beyblade Burst.
Can't do it.
How much-
Can't hold it up.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There.
Yeah. So how's this episode start?
Well, the military has decided, okay, we tried sending in mobile suits to attack Quiet Zero. That didn't go well. So we're going to get our biggest battleships, park really, really far away, and fire the biggest guns we got at them and see what that does. It doesn't do nothing either.
Ain't got
Doesn't
shit.
work.
They send a whole second fleet. It stops being a second fleet very quickly.
Yeah.
But we learn that the Quiet Zero permit reactor has a cooldown timer.
Yeah.
Like a good final boss.
Because, yeah, you can't spam it. I think we also learned at some point that this thing is like the Death Star. It can travel around.
Yes.
Like, it's not at a fixed point. It can just go wherever it wants to go. It's not particularly fast, but it can go wherever it wants to go.
Yeah. So the Quiet Zero is on the move to Plant Quetta, where they need a piece to make the permit reactor cooldown timer go faster. But someone stole it.
Yeah.
Presumably
Dum-dum.
our guy Fang, the space cop.
Or the Pale Grandmas.
Or maybe the Pale Grandma's got it.
I can imagine they just like, okay, let all our enemies kill each other. We'll be the last one standing.
So over at Earth House, everyone's in prep mode. Everyone is in prep mode. They
Choo-choo.
Choo-Choo refinances her dad's house to get a demi-barding, I guess.
She begs. Literally hands down. Hands up, head down, begs to keep her new suit. And basically said, "Yeah, you can borrow it. If you damage it, you're going to be owing us a lot of money." And in the background, Paul Marty is like, "Choo-Choo, remember, we're poor, like dirt poor."
And they still haven't resolved Till and the other guy's gambling debts.
Yes. But
So
like
that'd be, so this is debt on top of debt. It's a bad scene.
Also, Lucy sends the one guy who can't talk except with a Haro sometimes. Is that he wants to go along because he's interested in Quiet Zero. So he's now essentially there's been kind of a partnership between the two houses, and also the girl who got punched and Edith, twin sister of the girl who's dead, have to go clean out the stalls in the animals.
Yeah, the bullies are now on shore duty. Felsi also just wants to join their expedition because I guess the Jet Herkhouse team they ran out of chairs, and they're not including like Felsi's not included for different reasons. I think it has nothing to do with them being out of chairs and everything to do with something else. We see a scene where Suletta and Elon 5, who is Elon 5 because he's got the notebook, I assumed.
Yes.
All right, I'll admit my guess was wrong. No, he's got the notebook, he's Elon 5. And they're at the bench, and they're talking about Elon 4 and also what it means to be a clone in Pale House.
Yeah. There's lots of those running around, apparently.
Yeah.
The question, okay, that is Elon 5. Did he just stash the Ifrit Urge somewhere, or
he may have just, like, set it to fly away, draw some heat off him, and popped out? I don't know. Just
saying, that seems like we're missing a Gundam. That's never good when they disappear. We get a duel, one last duel.
Yeah, Earth House goes to Lagrange Point 4, where the headquarters for Benerit is, and they're like, well, Bob wants to break the news to Mio, and Suletta wants to break the news to Mio, so they fight over it.
This is a duel, it's a fencing duel, and I'm 100% convinced Bob threw it. Like, no, I'm not even joking. He's like, okay, I don't deserve the holder title. I know everything that's going on now. I also know that Mio really doesn't want to marry me. This is for politics at best. And quite frankly, everything doesn't really mean anything anymore, considering that's what's going to happen in the next 48 hours. So let's put things where they should be. All right.
Suletta puts up a good show, though. She does use Utena's finishing move. Shoutouts. Shoutouts to Utena.
But I'm convinced beyond the shadow of a doubt Bob threw that.
Yeah. So there's a conversation.
And then it's finally over. He just transfers the holder title back to her. Like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. There's a little conversation through the door. There's a moment where Mio crosses the threshold, because we need another threshold moment. Mm-hmm. We get some hand-holding, which is, which is, in a Yuri show, is basically sex.
Yeah. I mean, usually it doesn't go that far, excluding Kira.
Yeah.
And actually, and the guy from IBO, I take that back too. Although that was much more implied.
Yeah.
Although at the
I'm
end,
just
it's
talking
more
about
factual.
I'm just talking about, like, in a girls' love context. No, a hand-holding. Ooh, serious.
I know. I'm just saying, usually we get some hand-holding, maybe a kiss here and there. Rarely do we ever go to that full extreme, except for, like, those two instances.
Yeah.
Kira you're having sex before going on a mission, and our boy and IBO literally just having sex on the Gundam because apparently that's his thing.
Someone's thing. Someone's thing.
Neo admits to Suletta her failures. He just comes in, look, everything, all these plans I had, they've all gone to crap. Earth is at war. Everything's gone to pot. Our school is done blown up. Lots of people are dead. And while it's not directly my fault, it is most certainly indirectly my fault.
Yeah.
And Suletta's response was, okay. Well, she didn't quite come out and say it this way, but she gets your point across like, all right, you can either stay in this room and cry about it, or you can get out here and help me fix it. She doesn't say it quite like that, but that's the point she's getting across. Like, and nothing you're doing in that room is fixing any of it. It sucks. I get it. But sitting on your ass and crying about it and pulling a full-on Shinji Ikari in your bedroom is not helping the matters.
Like, Suletta just got out of her goblin mode. She needs to talk me out of goblin mode. And Delling is awake just in time to say, hey.
Nothing.
Nothing, really. He has nothing
Right.
to say. It's a little weird for him to wake up and have nothing to say.
Don't worry, we'll get there. But I'm just sure right now he's like heavily drugged and like, wow. These painkillers are great.
He is on the space morphine. It's like
Right.
regular morphine, but space.
Right. So when the people come to visit him, as far as he's concerned, he's getting visited by the Teletubbies.
Yeah.
So he wants to poke them in the belly and see what they do. Okay.
We get a scene in the boardroom where they explain that no, Suletta can't just hop in the two safer Gundams they have kicking around. It's like, nope, can't do the Ferract. It won't go that high. Schwarzset's not rigged for that. Also, we can't find it. Don't ask why. So she's gotta hop in the Calibarn, and she's gotta push all the dials all the way up. And she gets to 5. We see her get to 5 in the test chamber, which is pretty high. That's pretty high.
What I thought was interesting is it didn't, like, it shows you how dangerous the Caliban is. They turn it on, she goes, okay, we're going to skip 1 and 2 and go straight to 3. Like, there's no ramp up, it's just 3, go.
Yeah.
And it's, it's taxing on her. Get to 4, really taxing on her. Get to 5, and she's, like, about ready to puke, but, hey, that's higher than anybody else has gotten. And I like that they point out in the boardroom, they say, okay, look, the Ferract has blockers in it. It won't even get past 4. We put in safeties that won't even happen. So even if you could get past 4, the Gundam will shut down before that happens because we don't want our pilot, going all scanners on us.
We save that for later.
Yes. And, like, they're talking about, well, we've got the big white Gundam that I keep forgetting its name of. I'm calling it the Great White, whatever. The Great White, or can we, like...
Schwarzset means small white.
Fine, that's wrong, but I'm still calling it Great White anyway. The Great White back there is... Like, can we rig that and, like, change its programming? It's like, well, maybe. Who are you going to get to pilot it? We might as well just use this one.
Like,
and she hops
we
in
don't
and
have
gets
enough
5.
time to do the safe, sensible thing. We have to do
Right.
the danger.
That big, giant coffin in space is slowly moving across the solar system, killing everything. So guess what? We're now at the portion of the planning where we just throw whatever we got at it and hope it works.
Speaking of hoping it works, we are introduced to the fact that the Demi-Barding can swap out the cockpit for an OG Demi-Trainer. Like the very first gen, which is not permit networked, which I will take my kudos now. Me and the Admiral don't want no networks on our goddamn boat, Mr. Gata.
Yes, you called it. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, well done, Scott. Well done.
We also
All those
have
years
we also have a pod that is also very old that won't get
Oh,
hacked.
that's... As soon as I saw that, I was like, It's like this antique and like who's piloting it? Marty? Oh no, poor Marty.
Marty gonna die. Like they
Marty.
established that they've got like some sort of code they can sneak into the computer on Quiet Zero to shut it down if they can get in. So we need a suicide team. We need a small elite team to go down to the forest moon to shut down the shield generator. Wow.
Yes.
Someone up on the ship talks down her evil parental figure.
Yes, but unfortunately, we're really crunched on time, so we don't have a supreme elite team of fighters. We've got these jackasses.
We have Marty. Marty gonna die.
We got Choo Choo in a dummy trainer that's been jury rigged, so it's even though it's a new dummy trainer, it's acting like an old dummy trainer, along with a weird ass backpack that's going to allow communications. And we got Marty in essentially a ball, a very large one.
And a Delanza.
That's our elite strike force. And Delanza.
And Bob and his Delanza.
Yeah.
We get a scene. We get a scene where the Benneret Group HQ is evacuating the staff because they're pretty sure they're going to get Quiet Zeroed.
Yes.
But before everyone leaves, Mio arranges a trade with Shadiq, and the scene just doesn't end. What is the trade? We don't know. Maybe it's the entire Grassley Gal team getting out and helping.
I'm betting that's exactly what it is. It's like, okay, I will not press charges against the entire Grassley team, but they have to help me. So I get the Shrike team on my side. I'm guessing that because, like you said, we need an elite fighting force. We don't got that. But he does.
And hey, so, Dan Mason in the chat with $2. Thank you. Thank you.
Every time you do it, Dan,
for the super thanks.
Every time you do it. Yes. Every time you do it, I have to say this. Daniel Mason!
Dear YouTube, super thanks makes it sound sarcastic. Please give it a name that makes me sound like I'm appreciative of the cash they just gave me.
Super thanks.
Super thanks. Super.
Super. It's soup. Okay, I'll stop now. Mio, like I said, Marty is heading out in his ball thing. Mio's mom put a message in the genetic code of the tomatoes. It's like, that's neat and all, but how would you think to look for that?
Okay, so this is actually a thing. So
I know, I've seen this, but
yeah,
I'm just asking. I've seen them do this in like actual fruit. They've been able to put genetic messages in there. My question is, who in their right mind thought, hey, tomato, I'm hungry. Let's see if anyone left a message inside.
Like, hi there. Hey there. I'm like, hi there. I'm a Russian spy who hides the messages in the junk DNA of my prize-winning orchids. A real thing that happens. But like, yeah, like, also, who does that without saying so? Like, if you don't tell the other half of the message that, hey, if you put my public key into the junk DNA of this flower, she's never gonna know. Like, she did this for her. Like, Mio's mom just did this for her. And that's
great and all. I'm just like, who in their right mind was like, they're handing out the tomatoes and the guy goes, I bet someone hid a genetic code in this tomato. What?
Yeah.
That's like me going to Wendy's it's like me going to Wendy's. I come home with a Baconator, I unwrap it, and I check the genetic code and the secret sauce. What? While I wear my tinfoil hat.
Look, the girl at the takeout has been drawing little messages in the fried onions for you the entire time.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
Quiet Zero is coming to them. Mainly, she's coming for Delling. I'm guessing Delling knows something, and somehow or through the back channel, she found, oh, Delling woke up. Yeah. Good.
Look.
So they're coming right to him.
They need a piece for the reactor to make it go all the way big. Right now, it's only kind of big. It needs to go all big. And that piece is somewhere. She guesses it's at Benneret HQ or at the SAL HQ. Who knows? She has reason to believe... She's just going to blow up everything until she finds it. Is it? She's got the time.
Yeah. we see what the Caliban is. At first, I thought, oh, that's like the Gundam narrative. When it launches, that kind of looks like almost a scarecrow.
Yeah,
Very
it's pretty
simple,
slim.
slim. You can see a lot of the, I was going to say, psycho frame in there, but that's not accurate. You can see a lot of the innards. What's it called?
Like the permit innards. I don't know, the guts.
Permit. Thank you. The glowing permit. See a lot of that all throughout the suit. I thought, okay, it's kind of neat. I wonder what it can do. It flies on a broom.
So, when Jundhead, the guy who is designing both the Ariel, the Elfriths, or the original Elfrith, and this, sent his first draft of the Ariel in. All the 11 shield bits, you know, that shape they make when they're all combined. It looked much more like a witch's hat, and they turned it down for being too on the nose.
Nah, that's a bit much.
And this is his revenge. I saw someone call it the Broom Buster.
Now,
I like it. I'm sticking with it. The Broom Buster is his revenge for not getting the hat.
I saw someone said this reminds me a little bit of the Woundwort. I'm like, yeah, and then someone said the Witchwort. I'm like, yep, that's what it is, the Witchwort.
There we go. Also fair. And we also see that the Gund drones have backpacks. They have death kites.
Yes. Well, she gets in there. She goes right into the Quiet Zero's orb, starts kicking ass and taking names. At first, Prosper's like, the hell? And then she gets in a zoom's like, someone's spying the Caliban? Who's crazy enough to do that? And then she thinks about, crap, it's Suletta.
Only one person. Right. That crazy. That desperate. Right. And we then get... we see that the Schwarzette is inbound on an attack course to fight Miorine because it's Lauda, and he's mad at her for dumb reasons. Yeah. He is a stupid boy, and it's going to go so wrong.
This is all from the same family. None of these people are good. So yeah,
he's coming in on the Schwarzette. Dumb.
Right. He's coming in on the Schwarzette, and Bob intercepts him. Nothing happens, but they're like facing off. Same time, all the drones seem to back off Suletta, which, by the way, I didn't mention her broom. There's 4 gigantic monster thrusters on the back side of the broom that would make the X-ass back there blush. That's how big those thrusters are. And the handle of the broom is essentially a big friggin' cannon. That's why it kind of reminds me of the Woundwort a little bit. And this thing has just got one gun, and it just one-shots everything it hits. And all the drones back off. She's just kind of floating there. And they check in with her a couple times. She is breathing heavy, and really, this is taking her out of her, but she's still hanging tough. Out of the top of Quiet Zero, the Ariel pops out. The hologram version of her little sister on the shoulder says, "What are you doing here?" And my question is Prosper in the pilot seat? She has to be. We're not at level 8 yet.
Yeah, I think someone has to be in that chair, doesn't it?
You need a pilot.
This is it. This is
So it's mom and daughter versus daughter, and brother versus brother.
Yep.
And I am still not sure if we're getting a season 3. They're leaving a lot on the table.
They're also putting a lot on the table, and
right.
So they've confirmed only 2 more episodes in season 2. There's a bit of an argument over literally the kanji for finale they are using to promote this, because it's the same ones they've used at the end of season 1 of IBO, but also at the end of G-Reco. It's not a specific kanji, is what I'm saying. This could be read 2 ways.
Right, and I'm sure they're doing that just to mess with us.
It just a little bit. Or they wrote all these tweets a year ago, because this is how you plan a promotional strategy.
My running theory, and granted, How well have my theories gone in this series, Scott? Diddly poop. You've gotten two things right. I got one, and that was Space versus Earth War in a Gundam series. What do you know? But still, of all the things we predicted, basically none of them come true.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of right now is like, okay, Prospero wins. She doesn't kill Suletta, but Prospero wins. We get to level 8 because 5. Remember, she's operating at level 5. We're gonna get we're gonna have level 4 Ariel. Ariel interacts with level 5 Calabac. We get to level 8. Ariel's a now sentient robot.
Yeah.
That's a win. And she just flies off. It's like, okay, I'm done. Prosper's like, okay, got what I wanted. I'm out of here. And now you have a god suit out there piloted by a ghost, essentially. It's essentially the Phoenix. Like from Gundam Unicorns. Like, okay, now we've got this thing out there. But maybe Prosper comes back and is going to take over the whole world with it. Who knows? But maybe she wins. And then we get to go to season 3 like, what now? The good guys lost. That's my guess. Because there's still like so many things on Earth that have not been finished. Everything in space, we're pretty much done. But there's all this stuff on Earth we have left open. And it seems odd just to leave it open. The one line I wrote down that Neo said is, "Someday come with me to Earth." Why the hell does she still want to go to Earth? Questions! Yeah. I need answers too.
I could see this ending in 2. I could see them going to a 3rd season. I could also see them doing a movie. I could see either a movie or a 3-part OVA where they clean up Donna Fold and Shadiq. But right now, if it ends at 2, I've been left wanting more. Terrible crime. A terrible, satisfying crime of media. To be left wanting more.
Yeah, no, that's one. If there's one problem with Gundam series as a whole, is they all overstay their welcome. Even the best series like Zeta.
Yeah.
Like, no, Zeta could have shaved off 10 episodes and still been fine.
There's a lot of Zeta.
Seed could have shaved off a dozen episodes, maybe more.
Oh, God.
Destiny could have shaved it in half.
So many fights over the Pacific Ocean that nobody wins.
IBO could have been shaved in half. There's all sorts of different series you could have cut down like a lot of extra stuff that we didn't need it. If it ends in 2 episodes, they say, that's it, the end. I'm like, okay. Better to leave them wanting more than to wish they were gone.
Yeah. Speaking of wishing for more, Dan Mason showed up with another $5. Thank you, Daniel. And wanting more... Daniel Masono. This is brought to you by RightStuff.com and the aerial rebuild high grade model kit, which comes with a lot. This is again very full featured as a kit. It's in pre-order right now at Right Stuff. If you don't get in on the pre-order, you probably won't get it. This is a fast seller. I'm probably going to order mine right now once the stream shuts off. Anyway, otherwise, hey, this is a podcast. It gets by on word of mouth and fan support. So tell a friend, tell an enemy, steal your dad's phone and just add it to his podcast app. I'm sure he won't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell everyone we're awesome and wonderful and they should listen to us all the time, nonstop, all the time.
Yeah.
I am high. Leave me alone.
I'm tired. I've had the same headache for a week. See you next week for the next episode. Have a great time, everyone. Bye.
Good night, everybody.